Hey guys, welcome back to my value betting journey from 1K to 2K. If you haven't seen my week 0 video yet, go and check that out on how I get all my accounts set up, betting accounts, Trademate account, all my presets and all that sort of stuff. Basically, I'm trying to get a starting bankroll of $1,000 US to $2,000. So yeah, it was a good first week. It's good to have the Premier League back on. And all the major European leagues back on after the international break. Not so great if you're an Arsenal fan. A 2-2 draw to Watford yesterday. Should have got the 3 points there, but that's the beautiful thing about being an Arsenal fan, I guess. In terms of the rest of the top six, the big six clubs, basically they all got wins except for Man City. Big loss to Norwich, a big upset there. So. I think it's good for English football to have those upset victories to the minor teams. So good stuff there. Other than that, there wasn't really any big matches, big clubs playing each other. If you're an Australian, it's a good time to be alive. If you're a big rugby fan, it's finals time. So the rugby league finals were on, but most of you probably aren't interested in that. So I'll get to it. So guys, this is how I went. As you can see, I did incur a loss of $12 US, which obviously doesn't look that great, but considering where I came from, I'm actually pretty happy. I started on Monday last week with obviously $1,000 US, went all the way down to negative 215. So not the greatest of starts, but that was by about Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I incurred some good growth from there. So overall, I've learned a lot that you just need to stick to the process no matter what's happening, and just believe that the more trades that I place, my variance will lessen, bad luck and good luck will lessen. And it'll stay true to its real value. In terms of the number of trades, I think that's the main thing, is that I'm really happy with that. If you read through some of the ebooks, this is just something that I've picked out from one of the ebooks that I found quite interesting, that a casual Trademate user might do about 100 trades per week. But I'm kind of in this bracket at the moment of active Trademate user. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to get to that unless your full-time job is trading. But yeah, it just shows that I'm on the right track in terms of, or where I'm placed in terms of the number of trades. I guess in terms of my overall experience, guys, it's quite a daunting experience, especially on Saturdays and Sundays when you've got a lot of trades going on at the same time. So for me, it was my first time I guess with a value betting strategy, and yeah, it is all about the number of trades you can put on. So at one time, I think my balance got down to $480 US because I had so many bets on at the same time. So that's obviously quite a daunting experience, and but I believed in the process, and I thought, well, this is good. The more trades I get on, the more chance of my variance lessening. So that was obviously daunting for my first time, but and it's also just a reminder to never bet more than you're comfortable losing. So, but yeah, I was comfortable the whole time, but it was a bit weird to think that I had $300-400 US, in the hands of a bet. So guys, in terms of analysing what I think I did good, what I did bad, and what I can improve on, I would say that I can improve on placing less custom trades. So I had a few trades that I, just out of my own opinion, what I thought was a good bet. For example, I had Leicester City draw no bet over Manchester United. Thought that was a decent bet considering Manchester United's recent form and Leicester City performing pretty well. And $2.70 presented some value, but I obviously lost that. And I also placed a few custom trades in terms of the rugby. I won one and lost one there. So less custom trades. I want to try and stick to this Trademate system as much as I can. And also just being a bit faster. It was my first time with using some of these bookies, and I was a bit slow navigating through their systems to find the bets. So I think if I can improve on that, I'll be able to place more trades. In terms of just looking at some of the sports that I went through, I think it's just interesting to look where I lost out most, and that was through basketball, I would say. So if I just have a look at this preset, I placed 25 basketball bets. As you can see, I ended up losing about $99. Now, most people would think after this, I'm not going to place any more basketball bets. I would highly advise against that. These, over time, the more bets you place on basketball or any sport, you will see that you will get closer to this line and above it. Okay, it's just I've only placed 25 trades, so over time my bad luck will run out, and because my variance is getting smaller with the amount of bets that I place. So guys, I'll just run you through some of the trades that I made this weekend. I've just taken a few screenshots. Biggest edge that I ended up getting was 20.9%, as you can see here. And that was Rotherham United minus 1.25 Asian handicap. I placed the bet at $2.14 odds, and as you can see, as the closing odds here on Pinnacle were $1.70. So that's actually a very decent edge. Here's my biggest negative edge, Germany versus Canada in the basketball, negative 17.2%. So as you can see here, I placed it at 1.91 odds, and Pinnacle ended up closing at 222. So I missed out on some decent odds there. In terms of my biggest win, I made 225 NOK, which is about 25 US dollars roughly, and that was just on a head-to-head here with in the Belgium league, and yeah, I ended up getting some decent edge on that too. And then finally, my biggest loss was kind of 3 bets. They were all basically the same value of 20 US dollars, and it was all in the basketball. So like I said before, not the greatest week in terms of the basketball. But yeah, it just shows here, even though I did have an edge on every single bet, it just shows that bad luck can incur. And yeah, they're just some of the biggest losses I had. So guys, in terms of my week 1, that's about all I have to say about my progress. Decent week, but there's an even bigger week coming back up. Check out the Game Center in the Trademate app to check out what games are coming up. In terms of the biggest news is that the UEFA competitions are back. So you've got the Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday. You've got the Europa League on Thursday. Biggest games coming out of that on Tuesday would be Napoli and Liverpool playing each other, and also Dortmund versus Barcelona, big one there in the group of death. And also on Wednesday, you've got PSG versus Real Madrid and Atletico versus Juventus. So they're kind of 4 big games to get the competition started. Make sure you check out my preview we've done with Trademate Sports on both Europa and Champions League competitions to get you up to schedule. Other than that, in terms of the weekly football next weekend, you've got Chelsea versus Liverpool and Lyon versus PSG on Sunday. And on Saturday, you've got Milan versus Inter. So a few big games there. For rugby fans, the Rugby World Cup starts this Friday night. So that will be about midday for European watchers. And the biggest game coming out of that one, I would highly recommend you watch this one. It's the All Blacks versus South Africa. So New Zealand versus South Africa, about midday on Saturday. So definitely check that out. And I'll be back next week with my week 2 results. So let's see how I go.